Good morning to you. How are you? It's Graham Martin from Careers Accelerator, and it's the 22nd of July, so good morning. I don't know if you saw my video yesterday, the 21st, about the company I went to see, the civil engineering firm that's looking to reduce the number of service staff. Well, one of the things that they were thinking about was producing this grid, this kind of grid SWOT analysis, if you like, of how they would grade people based upon their, their timekeeping and their contribution, feedback from customers, technical ability, and their training level. Now, how about this for a coincidence? Last night I spoke to a chap, let's just call him R, and he's from South Africa, and he's in the commercial accountancy sector, of course, which is an area which I do a great deal of work. And he'd recently come to the UK, better quality of life, no guns, better education for his family of 3 boys. And he was asking me specifically about the fact that he was struggling to get noticed in the UK because he didn't have a UK qualification. So he's not FCCA, he's not CIMA, he's not AAT. But he does have a degree from South Africa, and he does have a South African accountancy qualification. So the question to me was, Graham, do you think it's a good idea for me to spend 2 years of my life, and he's in his early 40s, 2 years of his life qualifying and getting a British recognised qualification such as ACCA or CIMA? And I answered very quickly and I said, yes, I think it is a good investment, particularly at the moment, because this chap has come over in what has to be potentially the worst employment market for many years, and it's going to get worse. We do believe that it's going to get as bad as it was in the 1930s. People are suddenly going to lose their homes, repossessions. There's going to be lots of companies, sadly, who just don't make it through. But of course, there's going to be other companies coming through. Green shoots, people starting in their home offices, using their redundancy to start their own businesses, exploding from their bedrooms, if you like. So, my point this morning has to be, what about your own level of training? How are you? Have you kind of let it slip a little bit, or are you really on top of it? The French, I don't know if you're aware, but the French put a huge amount of store in further education, and throughout their whole lives, into their 50s and even their 60s, they keep taking exams, they're studying and so forth. Bearing in mind, so many people work for the state in France. Now, we've got about 1 in 6 in the UK work for the state in some shape, way or form. Local authority, police force, ambulance, armed forces, civil service. So, we've got to start thinking perhaps the way the French would do, upskill and train. Because what these people were talking about yesterday was, Graham, we want you to help us develop this grid. And one of the things we're going to be looking at is very severely how much attention they paid to their own training and the development. Now, of course, you could argue CPD, continuous professional development, is down to the company, but it's not the case. It's our responsibility, it's your responsibility to make sure that you are, number one, up with current methodology and skill sets, but also showing your future boss or your current boss that you're serious about yourself. So, forgive me for being a bit of a SWOT and maybe not necessarily going with the flow and being chilled and stuff, but you know what I'm about. It's about giving you the true facts about what's required out there. So, I know a lot of us, we thought long and hard, well, very quickly perhaps, about what we were going to do during the early lockdown. I do know a lot of people sign up for courses but didn't finish them. Read.co.uk, who've got, number one, a great website for job hunters, but number two, some fantastic training resources at amazing discounts. They really dropped the prices during Corona. There's still some great deals to be done. Well, I'd be looking there. I'd be looking at Read to see what courses there are that might suit you, from accounting and also improving your skill sets on Excel if you're using SAP or Microsoft X3. But what about Xero? So many firms are moving, they're migrating towards Xero from Sage, aren't they? Now, I know it's not at this stage perhaps as well known as Sage, but these guys from the Southern Hemisphere, they're really keen, and of course it's so easy just to plug in. So even if you just start with looking at Xero, that's a start. But like our friend R from South Africa, have a good look at yourself, do a sort of self SWOT analysis, if you like, and work out where the gaps are in your education, in your training, and get to it, because you know what, there'll be a lot of people banging on doors who might have just as good or better qualifications than you for less money. Now, I'm sure that's not going to happen to you, but it's going to happen to some people that you know. Okay, so good luck. I'll see you later in the day. The sun is coming up over the park. It's pretty glorious. So have a great day, whatever you're doing, and I'll see you soon. Oh, and of course, click below. Do join me next Monday when we start to the 5-day careers challenge that I'm running. It's a free event. All are welcome. It starts early in the morning. The videos will be available for download just like this. There'll be a little bit of homework to do in the day. Upload it for me and not look at anonymously. And then I've got a live event every evening from 8 o'clock. And tonight on Careers Accelerator, of course, we're presenting Careers Club, and it's available on Facebook and Zoom. You should have the links by now. And tonight we're going to look at a whole bunch of things, including training, and like last week, I'm sure a very, very useful and helpful for a Q&A. Last week it was nearly an hour's Q&A session, and I just keep going until I've covered all the bases. That's it for me. I'm off, and remember, what are you for? Bye for now.